Backs, run like a wild man. Wild man trying to lose. Be sharp. Be ready. Let's go.
Define the moment. The mantra instilled by the legendary coach Shug Jordan in his 25 years at Auburn. And that is exactly what Heisman winners Pat Sullivan and Bo Jackson did in their glory years on the Plains. Now the time has arrived for this Tiger team to open the gates and walk down the path to define their own moment in Auburn history. You rarely get a second chance to define the moment, but that is exactly what the Georgia Bulldogs have in front of them. Against Florida, they let a chance to win the East slip away. But the Dogs remain on the precipice of glory. They can define their season with a division-clinching win and put an exclamation point in the Deep South's oldest rivalry. We welcome you to the Home Depot SEC on CBS. One of the marvelous traditions in all of college football, the Tiger Walk. And it is joined with another of the marvelous traditions of college football, the Flight of Spirit above Jordan-Hare Stadium in Auburn, Alabama. This ought to be good. Welcome as we present the Georgia Bulldogs with a 9-1 record against the Auburn Tigers, and Georgia takes the field first. Right behind them, the Tigers of Auburn. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Vern Lundquist along with Todd Blackledge and Jill Arrington. If you don't have goosebumps, we need to check the thermometer. Welcome to the SEC on CBS. This one goes back a few years. First game between these two played in 1892. And with the exception of 3 war years in World War I and World War II, it's been played continuously since 1898. And in the 105 meetings, the total difference in points between these two teams, 5. As for the relevance of this game, it's very real. For Georgia, if they win today, they are in the SEC championship game for the very first time. If they lose and Florida wins tonight, then the Gators are back in Atlanta. For Auburn, the story is just a little bit more complicated. They must win out. And if they do, and LSU loses one of its 2, then the Auburn Tigers can get to the championship game in Atlanta. Don, let's talk first of all a little bit about the state of Georgia coming into this one.
Well, this is such a huge football game. I mean, most Georgia followers saying the biggest game in 20 years since their last SEC championship team in 1982. And football is such a what have you done for me lately business. The Bulldogs are 9-1. They're ranked number 7. But if they don't win today, it's going to be like so many seasons in the last several years. Nice record, good season, no championships. A must-win situation today for the Bulldogs.
And this is a Georgia team that comes into this game hampered, hounded really by injury, particularly at the 2 outside receiver spots.
Yeah, every team deals with injuries at this point in the season, but those top 2 names, 2 of their starting 3 receivers, very difficult to lose, puts more pressure on Fred Gibson. But the one thing that Georgia has today, they have a savvy quarterback in sophomore David Greene. He was the freshman of the year in this league last year. He's not had the same kind of numbers as a year ago, but he has thrown 19 touchdowns, only 7 interceptions. And the best thing about him, he has never lost a game as a starting quarterback on an opponent's home field. He has to have that poise today.
For the last couple of years, the Auburn Tigers have featured one of the outstanding running backs in all of college football, Carnell Cadillac Williams. They lost him for the 2nd season in a row. The injury this time occurred against Florida. But unlike a year ago when this team really struggled without him, they've called upon the talents of Ronnie Brown. And Ronnie Brown has stepped up big time with an average of nearly 131 yards and 8 touchdowns in relief of Cadillac Williams.
Yeah, Ronnie Brown has seized his opportunity, and Auburn wants to run the football first, but I think to win the game today, they must have some big plays from their quarterback, Jason Campbell. He has played very well since taking over for Daniel Cobb in the second half of the Florida game, but he can't just play not to lose the game for his team today. He's got to do some things either as a runner or a thrower to put Auburn in a position to win this football game at home.
It is a gray day in Auburn, Alabama. This game is all of our games brought to you in high definition television. Temperature of 50 degrees, humidity of 90%, breeze out of the northwest at 15, and light rain is in the forecast for the rest of the afternoon. Georgia won the toss and deferred to the second half. 106th meeting. Auburn leads the series. There's that point differential we spoke of. 5 points over 105 games. And a small note of irony, Georgia has a better record here in Auburn than do the Auburn Tigers in meetings between these two. Brett Kerouac will kick off. Here's Trey Smith, number 22, one of the two deep men. Roderick Hood, number 36, is the other. Roderick Hood drifts back and will take a knee. That one comes out to the 20. And we check in with the third member of our commentary team. Here's Jill Arrington.
Well, Vern, like you've talked about, not only is this game important because it's the Deep South's most played rivalry and also the SEC championship game implications, but it's also important, very important to 25 of Auburn's players who are Georgia natives. In fact, 7 of the 22 Auburn starters come from the state of Georgia, and Coach Tuberville told me he has put the emotions of this game in the hands of those Auburn players. But for the Bulldogs, it's also important. The headlines read, it's dome or doom for the Dogs, and Coach Rick said everyone's holding their collective breath, and he doesn't want to disappoint those Georgia fans.
All right, here's Campbell, Jill. Loose in the option as he comes to the near side. This the dimension he adds that Daniel Cobb does not.
Yeah, they only show enough option to make you practice against it and prepare for it. But Jason Campbell, the thing that he has done, especially this year, 8-3 as a starter, he has thrown 8 touchdowns, only 1 interception since taking over as a starter. He has not made mistakes, and as you mentioned, he brings that athleticism to the table from the quarterback position.
Jason Campbell from Taylorsville, Mississippi. Split backs. Now they're in the eye. And on 1st and 10, the toss sweep to the left side. Good block from the fullback. And Ronnie Brown out to the 40-yard line. And let's check the Alamo starting lineup. Offensive line for the Tigers: Para, Lindsey, Nowland, Monrico Crittenden, and a big one, Marcus McNeil, listed at 6'9", 360. Ronnie Brown, a tailback, Brandon Johnson, the fullback, Willis, Aaron Machado, and Robert Johnson at tight end.
We are going to see some tremendous collisions between fullbacks and middle linebackers in this game today. We've got 2 hard-nosed fullbacks in this ball game.
There's a play-action pass out of the backfield to Ronnie Brown. And he struggles out of a tackle and across the 50 with a first down, Auburn.
You know, Carnell Williams may be the more dynamic tailback and the flashier, but this guy is the more physical back, the guy that's probably able to break a few more tackles. Where Carnell would make you miss, Ronnie Brown's going to run through tackles and drag people with him. He lost 10 to 12 pounds in the offseason, and yet he's a more physical player. Usually it's the other way around. You gain weight to be more physical. Ronnie Brown lost weight and became more physical.
That is a gain of 13 and a first down from the spread. Blitz. Campbell sends it high, intended for Anthony Mix, but pressure coming up the middle as we check the Georgia defense. Will Thompson, Jonathan Sullivan, who's a bit banged up, And David Pollock, who is having a sensational season on the outside with Genville. Chris Clemens back after an injury. Boss Bailey also a little dinged with a knee. Tony Gilbert in the middle. It's DeCorey Bryant, Curry, Sean Jones, and Bruce Thornton. Second and 10. Toss. Brown with Johnson. This time, good pursuit by Georgia. He loses yardage back to the 50. Shedrick Wynn, number 91. Third and 12. You look at Tom Tuberville, Mark Richt, I beg your pardon. 7-0 in away games. They have lost in neutral sites.
Yeah.
That team from Gainesville.
Yeah, 0-3 in neutral sites. 2 games in Jacksonville and 1 bowl game, but has been very good in opponents' home stadium. Third and long. This situation favors Georgia's defense. It's not the situation Auburn likes to be in.
Blitz again. Tony Gilbert coming up the middle. They dump it off to Ronnie Brown. First down.
The thing they were able to do is get a good block on Boss Bailey. Now watch Boss Bailey right here. He's not going to be able to get to the play. He reads the screen, but he just can't get out. A good block by the center, Ben Nowlin, and that was enabled Ronnie Brown to get outside. Boss Bailey had the coverage, couldn't get out there, and another block by the wide receiver, Jarris McIntyre, as well.
That was a gain of 20. Fake the draw, give it off. Brown into the secondary. What a tough run. And another double-digit gain for Auburn.
And another example of Ronnie Brown carrying Georgia defenders with him. Good blocking on the left side, but watch at the point of contact. 1, 2, nobody can wrap him up. 3 Georgia defenders it takes to bring him down. Powerful running by young Ronnie Brown.
53 yards on this drive. Double tight end set on first down.
This is my least favorite play in football. Jason Campbell tried to draw the offside, but I don't think Georgia was offsides. And what you tell a quarterback and a center is if you feel him jump offsides, he snaps the ball automatically. Well, there was movement by Georgia, but they never crossed the neutral zone. And so what you do is you waste a play. Jason Campbell took the snap, dropped a knee, and instead of getting 5 yards, now you're 2nd and 12. I never have liked that philosophy of trying to get the easy 5 yards that way.
Again, a double tight upset. Aroma Shadu is in motion to the right side. Play action, pressure from the backside, and it's intercepted. Look out by Sean Jones. Gets a downfield block. 2 men to beat. There's the cut. And another cut as Campbell saves 6.
Campbell saves 6, but Marcus McNeil, the giant freshman offensive tackle, is the guy who ran downfield and forced the returner to cut back to the middle where Campbell could make the play. Pressure by Georgia. Watch the pressure come on the inside. Play action pass. Pollock is getting a rush. Boss Bailey from the outside, and there's the interception by Sean Jones. The pressure from Boss Bailey forced the high throw. And once again, Georgia, excellent red zone defense comes through again.
That is a 58-yard return with the interception. Sean Jones, first of the year. Georgia with David Greene at quarterback. Hand off to J.T. Wall, the fullback, gets the first carry for the Bulldogs, and he runs into Reggie Torbor, number 82. David Greene, whose parents had an Auburn tint. His dad went to here. His sister Leslie graduated from Auburn last spring, and his grandfather attended Auburn as well. On second down, play fake. Drills it. And let's take another look at the interception.
Okay, I want to show you Boss Bailey. He's right here, and what's going to happen is he is going to come so quick with his speed, and because of the play action fake, Jason Campbell had his back to the blitz, and by the time he turned around and found him, he had to get rid of the football, and he made the high throw and that ball was picked off, and a huge play by the Georgia defense because of the pressure, the quick pressure from Boss Bailey.
Backs are split on first down. Musa Smith, number 32. Wow.
Safety blitz. Junior Greene timed it perfectly. He came up there late. Here he is right here. Now watch him just time it so that he hits it right at the snap. I mean, he comes in there full speed and they're not able to cut him off. That's good timing by the safety, Junior Greene.
Second and 17. Smith going left. Dontario Thomas with the tackle. And let's check the Georgia offense. Stinchcomb, Brock, Knight, Breedlove, and Kareem Marshall. Musa Smith, J.T. Wall in the backfield. Michael Johnson gets a start, along with Fred Gibson. Ben Watson is the tight end.
Fred Gibson, the go-to guy. Expect to see him get doubled on this situation. He's down at the bottom of the screen, number 82. They'll try to put a guy right up in his face and get physical with him and then double him.
Out of the backfield, dropped.
This is the kind of treatment that Fred Gibson's going to get most of the day. They're going to have somebody lined up on him, and it's just going to be kind of double coverage. One guy outside, one guy inside, but that was just a called screen right away that J.T. Wall couldn't hold on to.
Billy Bennett has missed only 4 this year. His long of the season is 47. This will be from 45. Now he's missed 5.
And 4 of those 5 have been in the last 3 weeks. I mean, he started off great and has kind of hit a little bit of a bump here in the last 3 weeks.
Out of Kilgo's hold, Billy Bennett misfires. We are still scoreless. Billy Bennett pushes it right from 45. 3 of his last 6. And Auburn takes over, first down and 10. They moved the ball at will last possession until pressure from Chris Clemens forced the interception off the arm of Jason Campbell. Oh my goodness. At the point of the exchange, Jonathan Sullivan, number 57.
Sullivan, I mean, he's right in the middle, and he's so quick off the football. He slips right in between the center and the guard, anticipating the snap count, and makes plays behind the line of scrimmage like he's done all season. He and David Pollock have had outstanding seasons on this front 7 for the Georgia Bulldogs.
That's a loss of 5, second and 15. Here's the option for the second time. Campbell keeps, cuts, got some room, out to the 37-yard line. Kentrell Curry, number 4, flying, leaves his feet, catches him, but nice run by Jason Campbell.
And a nice patience by Jason Campbell, waiting for this to open up. Now watch him double team. Watch him double team David Pollock. They've got the tight end and the tackle on him right here. They're not going to let David Pollock get up and disrupt that option. They double team him, and then a nice cut back inside by Jason Campbell. Good patience on the second time that Auburn's run the option.
Now they will bring the chain out and check to see if he got the 15 needed for the first down.
I made the comment that for Auburn to win, that Jason Campbell would have to do more than just not get his team beat. He's done a great job of not making mistakes since he's taken over the starting role. Today, to beat this Georgia team, he's going to have to do some things outside of that, and we've seen that a couple times here as a runner. Now he threw the ball fairly well in that first series, except for the interception he threw when the pressure was created by Chris Clemens and overthrew for the interception. But so far he looks pretty comfortable running the football as well as throwing it.
And he did pick up the first down. It's 1st and 10. That's Trey Smith in motion out of the backfield. Campbell straight drop back. Looking left. Across the middle. Incomplete. Here's Campbell. Georgia showing a 4-man front. They bring just 4. Across the middle. Tight end. Robert Johnson. Chris Clemens up high. And it was Boss Bailey also, or Chris Clemens rather.
And Chris Clemens, I mistakenly said that Boss Bailey created the pressure on the interception, but it was actually Chris Clemens, who is back playing and healthier than he's been in the last 3 weeks. Brought the pressure on the backside, and he was the one who made the tackle that time on Robert Johnson. But they are happy to get Chris Clemens back, because when he's been out, they've actually had to take a safety, Thomas Davis, and play him as a linebacker. Now that they've got their healthy all 3 linebackers back in Clemens, Gilbert, and Bailey, a much more difficult defense to run against.
Johnson very close for the first down. Appears to be a couple of links of the chain short.
Robert Johnson is a big target, 6'6", 270-pound tight end, and he has kind of become Jason Campbell's favorite target since Campbell has taken over the starting role. A lot of times for a young quarterback, it's easier to find those tight ends in the middle of the field where your vision is easier to focus than hitting wide receivers on the outside, and that is a big target to throw to. And he does a great job of running after the catch as well. Very talented athlete.
Auburn on 3rd and short goes with a double tight end set. Hand off to Brown. Got an opening, and he has got room. Touchdown, Auburn.
This is one area that Auburn works very hard at. They work on their red zone, or 3rd and short. Watch Sean Jones, the safety. He's unblocked, and he doesn't make the tackle. Number 6 is there. There's nobody there to block him, but Ronnie Brown runs right through the arm tackle. Bobby Petrino, the offensive coordinator, said they work really hard on 3rd and short, 3rd and medium, and that's why they come into this game leading the SEC in 3rd down conversions.
53-yard touchdown run. And the exclamation point is added as Damon Duvall hits his 120th consecutive extra point. Up the middle through Sean Jones, chased by the Corey Bryant, but a touchdown Brown. So much history between these two teams. The Deep South Oldest rivalry. Auburn won the first meeting. John Heisman was among the coaches at Auburn. No games played in 1917, 1918, and 1943. And Frank Sinkwich won the Heisman Trophy with a banner year in 1942. Now Damon Duvall, who just extended his extra point streak to 120. Auburn leading 7-0. The ball sends it deep. Grabbed by Fred Gibson. Bounces off the tackle and then is down at the 20-yard line. Derek Graves, number 29, made the tackle.
I mentioned the missed block by the safety, but watch the block by the center, Ben Nowlin, right here. Watch the key block by the center, the senior. Takes his man and throws him completely out of the hole, and that opens things up. And then both safeties, Kentrell Curry and Sean Jones, neither one of them blocked, neither one of them able to make the tackle. They had enough guys in there to stop the play, just couldn't make the tackle. But it started with the block by that guy, Ben Nowlin, the center.
137 yards to 5. Auburn's favor. Here's David Greene. And he'll go from the spread on first down from the 21. Greene feeling a little pressure from the backside, in and out of the hands of Fred Gibson at the 26-yard line. And let's check this Tiger defense. Brett Evans gets the start today. DeMarco McNeil, Spencer Johnson, and Reggie Torbor. Carlos Dansby is having an all-conference year. Mark Brown, the leading tackler, and Dontarius Thomas And in the secondary, it's Hood, Rose Greene, Robinson, and Rogers. Second and 10. Musa Smith, he picks up 5, maybe 6.
Third down's been kind of good and bad for Georgia. They were 10 of 16 in their win last week against Ole Miss, but 0 for 13 in their only loss of the season against Florida.
Well played, Musa Smith. They'll punt. 4th down.
And 0 for 2 today against Auburn. 0 for 3, rather.
Don Terrius Thomas with the tackle.
Just the early feel is that Auburn is playing more downhill in this game than Georgia is. I mean, they are getting after it a little bit more at the line of scrimmage, and Georgia's kind of on their heels a little bit.
Jonathan Kilgo on to punt. Roderick Hood, who started the season as the punt return man for Auburn, then lost his job because of a fumble against LSU, has regained it, so he's back. Here's Kilgo, end over end, and Hood grabs it at the 28-yard line. There's a block in the back, but no flag is thrown. And great field position. Roderick Hood, it's picked up. That is a fumble, and it's a live ball. Georgia has it. So Roderick Hood, who fumbled against LSU, fumbles against Georgia.
And it was Sean Jones again. He got the interception earlier. He gets the fumble recovery here. And this looked like an excellent return because Donnie Young, number 10, got a huge block to spring him on the sideline. Watch the end of the play on the Auburn sideline. From behind, he's tackled by Burt Jones, and the ball is stripped out and picked up by Sean Jones. Great hustle from behind by Burt Jones, a senior out of Jackson, Georgia.
Second turnover of the ball game for Georgia, but they trail by 7. Burt Jones and Sean Jones, who collaborated on that last play, and Sean Jones with an interception and a fumble recovery here in the first quarter.
And this is a situation now where Georgia, they have to capitalize on it. They weren't able to capitalize on the first turnover. They got the missed field goal. Now they've got excellent field position, and David Greene's got to get this offense in gear a little bit. That senior offensive line needs to kind of establish themselves right now.
I haven't seen much from Musa Smith yet, and we do not on this play. Picks up a yard, maybe a yard and a half. Well, let's take another look at that Roderick Hood fumble, Tom.
Yeah, right before commercial, we had some boos from the home crowd thinking that Hood was down before the ball came out, but great hustle play by Burt Jones, and it looked like a fumble clearly. Now wait till you see this angle. The officials obviously couldn't see this, but we have the luxury of seeing it clearly, the ball out before Hood's knee hit the ground. So a great call by the officials here in the ball game.
4 minutes to go, first quarter of play. Here's the fake toss, Greene with room to run, but he throws it instead to Ben Watson. And that's the most successful play thus far as David Greene finds Ben Watson for a gain of 19.
Really nice fake by David Greene. I mean, it was him selling the fake on the toss that opened up that play. If he rushes that, or if he doesn't really sell the fake, then the Auburn defense doesn't buy it and Watson doesn't come free. But he really was patient on faking that toss, and he got the easy completion to his tight end.
Tyson Browning has made his first appearance now. He's the tailback, goes out to the left side, and will set up as a flanker. Greene pressured. Shakes one tackle, then goes deep, and there's a battle for it at the 5. It's incomplete. Jay Ratliff and Mark Brown applying the pressure on David Greene.
Yeah, we don't normally think of David Greene as being elusive, but he did a pretty nice job that time of getting away from pressure enough to throw the football downfield. The way that looked from the beginning, it looked like it was going to be a sack all the way for Auburn.
Second down and 10. 3:25 to go. The difference in the ball game thus far, a 53-yard run, Ronnie Brown. Now Tony Milton, number 9, is in. Play fake to Milton. Greene has the man open. That's Michael Johnson, who's playing in place of the injured Terrence Edwards. Carlos Dansby, number 11, maybe the best of the linebackers. In 2001, he had a Peach Bowl for the ages. Darian Durant pass out of the air, and then that tip drill pays big dividends. That was an amazing play.
You don't see that very often. He's a guy who was a wide receiver in high school, has great catching ability, and he and David Pollock of Georgia, two of the most dynamic defensive players in this league.
Here's Greene. That one sails, and Milton makes the catch. But then he is banged down at the 25-yard line. Horace Willis, number 6, was the first man there.
Well, because that ball sailed in the air so long, and it hung up there for so long, it enabled Horace Willis to track it down and stop him short of the first down. That was a long swing pass out to Tyson Browning, and by the time he got the catch, a lot of defenders were there.
Billy Bennett talking to himself. He missed from 45. This one from 43. Brian Jordan snaps it. And Bennett knocks it home. So the Bulldogs are on the board. 7-3 Auburn. Two minutes and 34 seconds to go in the first. Auburn leading Georgia 7-3. Billy Bennett just hammered home a 43-yard field goal. And now Brett Kerouac getting ready to kick off for the Georgia Bulldogs. Trey Smith, number 22, and Roderick Hood, the two deep men for the Auburn Tigers. 7-3 Auburn. Kerouac sends it in the direction of Roderick Hood, who gathers it at the 4. Lots of room. Out to the 30-yard line.
The football. Ronnie Brown running well. The offensive line really getting after things on this Georgia front 7. Jason Campbell, a few options, a few passes, but turnovers have hurt him.
Cooper Wallace listed as the third-team tight end, tight right. Here's Campbell looking in his direction, fires it deep for Cooper Wallace, and it's picked off.
Number 6 again.
Sean Jones.
Pick 6 for Sean Jones. Mike, and this interception, now we saw David Pollock make an incredible interception against South Carolina. Wait till you see this one. I mean, he is trailing the play, trailing Cooper Wallace, and makes an incredible interception. Watch at the top of your screen on the right sideline. Sean Jones has no idea where the ball is till right now, and turns around and makes the interception, just rips it away from Cooper Wallace. What a play by the sophomore out of Atlanta.
2 turnovers, 2 interceptions for Sean Jones, and a fumble recovery. And the 3rd turnover of the first quarter. New quarterback, DJ Shockley, fires it out, and the catch is made by Michael Johnson, but he's dumped by Roderick Hood. So DJ Shockley, who played only 1 series last week and had a fumble exchange.
Yeah, fumbled a center exchange on the 3rd play, and Mark Richt just said, hey, I didn't feel good about putting him back in again. He assured him that he would play him again today. But ever since the Kentucky game, when he played really well, he has not had the same kind of success when he's come into the ball game.
2nd down, 11. Here's Musa Smith. He's got some room. Junior Rosgreen makes the tackle, but that's the best run of the day for Musa Smith. He picked up 17.
Well, anytime you give the ball to the tailback, you know your fullback is blocking too. J.T. Wall is leading the way. Watch him come in here and hit Mark Brown, the middle linebacker. The key block opens up the hole for Musa Smith. Dansby's blocked by the tight end, Ben Watson. And a huge play for Musa.
Down to the Auburn 42-yard line with 1:10 to go before the right. Got pressure. Goes back left. Caught and dropped at the 48-yard line. Mark Brown, number 52.
Well, Mark Brown made up for it. You know, he got blocked pretty good on the running play. This time he came on the blitz and he gets the sack. One of the things that Auburn has shown, when they move up late into a blitz look, they're coming. If they show it early, they're probably going to drop out and play something else. And there's David Greene, knowing that right there he's probably saying, good job holding on to the football, DJ. Don't turn it over when you get a pressure like that.
Loss of 10, 2nd and 20. I formation again. Play fake. Shockley, pressure. Goes deep down the middle. That's incomplete at the 15-yard line. You know, Tommy Tuberville prides himself, I think, on being provocative. And in our conversation yesterday, he said, I hope B.J. Shockley plays at least 2 series. That will guarantee at least 1 turnover.
Yeah, I mean, he has more concern about David Greene, I think, because of his poise and his accuracy. I mean, he knows DJ Shockley is an athlete and a tough guy to tackle, but he thinks right now he's not capable or mature enough to lead the team down the field in a 10-play drive and continue to execute. And right now, a little confusion for DJ Shockley, and he calls timeout for the Bulldogs.
"14 seconds to go before the halftime break."
Hope my boys weren't watching the commercial there.
I was thinking about Sherry and your quartet of young men. 3rd and 20 with the ball on the Georgia 47.
Not a great situation for DJ Shockley. He needs to be smart with the football here. Right now they're winning the turnover battle 3-0. He's got to protect the football here. If it's not there, run it, throw it away, punt the football.
Flag was down, so this will be a pre-snap call.
A dead ball foul, delay of the game against the offense, violation of the 25-second clock, 5-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
I know this kid is a heck of an athlete, and Mark Richt has a lot of respect for what he can do, but boy, the rhythm gets disrupted. You know, I mean, David Greene's starting to get into a little rhythm, and DJ comes in. And then you come out of a timeout and get a delay of game penalty. That shouldn't happen. I mean, you shouldn't ever get a delay of game penalty out of a timeout.
And they're asking to reset the clock at 14 seconds. That has now been done. 3rd and 25.
I understand the thinking, you know, if you have a chance, you may lose your quarterback, and this guy has to come in late in the ball game to win the game. You don't want him to be the first time on the field there at the end of the game. Get him a little action early, but tough situation in a tough place.
Looks for a block, gets it, goes deep, double coverage, up for grabs. Brown is back, knocks it down.
Smart play by Mark Brown, too. I mean, I don't know if he intentionally knocked that down or not, but better than intercepting it down inside the 10. They might get a better return off the punt. Here's Shockley going to get hit by DeMarco McNeil, and he just kind of threw that one up. Yeah, he was trying to catch it, but it was a good decision not to catch it. Make him punt the football, see if you can get a little better field position.
I can hear Kentucky fans saying that's what we should have done last week. Here's Jonathan Kilgo. First punt was 45 yards. And Roderick Hood, who fumbled after a 40-yard return on his first return of this game. 4th down. This one goes over Hood's head and limps into the end zone. Touchback. A 58-yard punt and nothing on the return. We've reached the end of one from Jordan-Hare Stadium. Our score is 7-3, and we'll be back after this message and a word from your local station. We began the start of the second quarter from Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn, Alabama, with the Tigers leading the Bulldogs by a 7-3 score. And Auburn with a first down and 10. Jason Campbell, 2 interceptions thus far in the ball game. Then Mallon to center over the ball on 1st and 10. Handoff, Ronnie Brown. Well, we talked about provocative comments made this season earlier in the year. Pat Dye, who coached here for 12 years, won 99 games, said before the Georgia-Alabama game, Georgia's not man enough to whip Alabama. That's exactly what I said, and that is what I think. That was on a radio show in Birmingham on September 30th. And after the game, Mark Richt was asked about the comments. He said Pat Dye was trying to help us. If anything, I need to send him a thank you card. We'll continue that in a moment. 2nd down and 9. Blitz from the corner, play action. Campbell, Boss Bailey gets him down at the 5-yard line. A big loss. And Georgia's defense, led by Boss Bailey on that play, forces the Auburn Tigers into a deep hole. Well, guess who's joined us? Pat Dye, longtime friend. We go back a lot of years. Pat, let's talk a little bit more about, were you deliberately trying to send a message with those comments to the Georgia team?
I meant it as a compliment to Alabama, and I also have 2 of my former players and coaches coaching at Georgia, and I meant it as a challenge to them. And how people took it, it was up to them. Before the game, Georgia was upset. After the game, Alabama was upset. So nobody's got any more respect for Georgia and Alabama than I do. And having been a part of both of those programs and coaching in Auburn and having to compete with them over the years, they're both great programs.
Well, after that last play, Jason Campbell shaken up, so he is down. Now, Daniel Cobb, of course, is the backup quarterback. Daniel Cobb started the season. Here is the last play. Campbell tackled by Boss Bailey and down at the 5-yard line. And Jason Campbell, who brings that second dimension, that running ability to this team, caught and sacked in the blitz from the linebacker Boss Bailey down at the 5-yard line. Daniel Cobb started his career at Georgia 6 years ago, had a very serious shoulder injury, finally wound up sitting out, transferred to Butler Community College, and then when he was healthy after 2 years there, signed with Auburn. And Jason Campbell heads to the sidelines and gives way to the 6-year senior Daniel Cobb.
Thing about Daniel Cobb also is he has had a bad shoulder all week, and he has not thrown in practice until today. I think pregame was the first time he really threw this week. He looked okay in pregame warmups, but he has not thrown the football very much all week. Hurt his shoulder in the Louisiana Monroe game last week.
Tough place, Pat, for him to come back.
Well, we need to hand it off right now and punt it, and then try to keep from making a bad play right here with this much yardage to go for a first down.
They just got to delay a game penalty again, so a lot of confusion after the Campbell injury and bringing the new quarterback in.
Delay of the game cost them 5.
I think they fixed to send Campbell back in the ball game.
Daniel Cobb comes over after the, not even a play, but the stoppage of play, and Jason Campbell comes back in. You're so close still to this program. What about the respective talents of these 2 quarterbacks?
Well, I think that, of course, Campbell is a better athlete, and I think he's certainly going to be our quarterback for the future. And he's just like any other young quarterback. It takes repetitions out there under pressure to learn how the game is going to be played on Saturday. And,
draw play. David Pollock makes the tackle. And it'll be 4th down. And so as rowdy as the Auburn crowd was, the Georgia fans respond now from that end zone. We were talking to Tommy Tuberville yesterday, Pat, about the rivalry, and of course you had to coach these last 2 games for those 12 years where you come up with Georgia first and then Alabama next. I know he talked to you about how to get ready for those 2.
Well, you got to plan your whole season preparation during the course of the year, week-to-week practice, with the plan that you're going to get better, you know, for the last 3 games of the year. Back then we were playing Florida, Georgia, and Alabama.
Do you see this rivalry as a friendly rivalry?
Oh yeah, it's a great rivalry. You know, there's a lot of mixed marriages in this one. My son's married to a Georgia girl, and he's and we recruit the same kids, and they're not intimidated when they come to Auburn, and we're not intimidated when we go to Athens, and so and there's been so much crossover, just like 2 Auburn guys are coaching Georgia offensive and defensive line right now.
Well, I'm going to turn you around and face the camera here and then ask you the inevitable question. If you think this Georgia rivalry is a friendly rivalry, may I assume that you don't think of Alabama as a friendly rivalry?
Well, I think it's, you know, it's a family feud. I think Georgia's a little bit different from Alabama. If you're going to be successful at Auburn, you got to win both of them.
You know, I can't imagine what it's going to be like, assuming that Auburn does get things done here. All of you Auburn folks having to pull for Alabama tonight.
Well, I'm not. A guy said that told me today. He said, "I hope Alabama wins, but I sure ain't gonna pull for them."
Okay, Pat, thank you.
Okay,
continued success to you. It's always good to see you again.
Thank you.
All right, Pat Dye played at Georgia, head coach at Auburn, and now on both sides of the ball, there's Shug Jordan, Vince Dooley, and Pat Dye. Pretty special group. Here's Duvall from the end zone. Sean Jones done everything else today. Why not return it? And he does to the 47-yard line.
Tough to punt it any better than Damon Duvall did right there, and right when his team needed it, because Georgia stood to get outstanding field position. They still have excellent field position, but Damon Duvall did his job for Auburn.
7-3 Auburn leads. We'll be right back. Let's take you through 1951 to 1975 in this rivalry. Shug Jordan, winningest all-time Auburn coach. Fran Tarkenton, one of the leaders as UGA won the SEC title. Vince Dooley was the head coach 64 to 88. I think Pat Dye and I probably appreciate the music more than some of the others here in the booth. Georgia has begun play at its own 46.
And this guy right here, Fred Gibson, they've got to get him involved in the game. He's their big play weapon on the outside.
Here's Greene. He looks deep, and it's incomplete. Well, Ronnie Brown still getting taped right ankle. He replaced Cadillac Williams, and he is with Jill Arrington.
That's right. I'm here with Carnell Williams. Carnell, how disappointed are you to not be able to play in this game after having such a successful game in this rivalry last year?
I mean, like you said, you know, I did have a lot of success last year. I set a school record. It's very disappointing, but I'm just cheering my guys on and glad to be out here with them.
Hey, let's watch this play.
DJ Shockley is in at quarterback. Second series for Shockley. Heads right. Out near the 40. Let's go back to Jill.
Well, with Ronnie out, what can we expect from Trey Smith? We hear a lot about his quickness on the field.
Oh, right. Trey Smith, he kind of remind me a lot of myself. Be real quick, slash running back. You know, when he get an open, he's practically gone.
He's going to be something tough, huh?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be a real good ball player for us.
All right, thanks so much for talking to us, and get well soon.
Thank you, Jill. David Greene back in the quarterback, so Shockley in for one play. 3rd and 3.
And Georgia still without a conversion on 3rd down.
And they still don't have one. Michael Johnson takes a shot. Carlos Rogers.
Well, Travaris Robinson came on a safety blitz. They've had some success with the safety blitz, timing it up at the snap, and David Greene had to get rid of it right away. Good timing on the blitz, and then good timing by Carlos Rogers to get his hands in there and rip the football out. Man-to-man coverage because of the blitz, and Auburn holds again on 3rd down.
Jonathan Kilgo's 4th punt of the ball game. Roderick Hood awaits this effort at the 20-yard line. Hood drifting over to his right, grabs it at the 19. Shakes a tackle, shakes another, looks for help, gets it, and Kilgo has to knock him out of bounds at the 42-yard line.
That's a little bit of a lack of discipline by the Georgia coverage team, because you punt him all the way to the right numbers, and then he reverses the field and comes completely back across your coverage. Missed tackles, guys getting out of their lanes a little bit. Nice block by Horace Willis to lead him down the field, and a good reaction, a good return by Roderick Hood. He had a good return earlier and he fumbled the football. And that time he held on to it and gets his football team in good position.
That's a 41-yard punt and a 36-yard return. The earlier return was for 40 yards.
Best field position of the football game for Auburn right here.
Here's Campbell, hands it off to Brown, who's back on the field. They retaped his right ankle and sent him back into battle.
Good blocking on the inside. The guards Crittenden and Lindsey. The center Nowlin. There's the pull by Crittenden. The lead block by the fullback Brandon Johnson, and Ronnie Brown back in the football game. You see he runs with such good leverage too. Lowers that shoulder. Gets right into the body of the tackler Sean Jones.
2nd down and 3. Brown 97 yards, nearing another 100-yard effort. Might get it on this play. That'll be close. The 36-yard line. Tackle made by David Pollock. Ronnie Brown, a young man from Cartersville, Georgia. They've got a coffee named after him at the Magpie Coffee Cafe. Gourmet chocolate sauce, caramel, steamed milk, whipped cream, and chocolate decorations.
Won a state championship at Cartersville High School. One of his teammates is an offensive lineman for Georgia, Josh Brock, and he's a little upset they don't have a drink named after him.
3rd and 2. Brown heading left, trying to get the first down, and does so.
This is what Auburn has done so well all year. Coming into the game, 47% conversions on 3rd down because they get a lot of these 3rd and shorts. That's 3 times today now they've had 3rd and 1 or 2, and they've converted all 3 times. And now Ronnie Brown over 100 yards here in the first half.
At 163 against Florida, 224 in the win over Ole Miss. Last week, limited play, only 9 carries for 41 yards. Here's Campbell, pumps once, comes right. Out of 2 tackles, and a first down at the 17-yard line.
A nice heads-up play by Jason Campbell. This was a quick throw call. I mean, it's a quick 3-step drop, plant, and throw, but it wasn't there. And so he made the quick decision to run the football, and you see the explosiveness, getting away from David Pollock, and then also getting away from the tackle of Tony Gilbert. I mean, that's just an excellent athletic play by Jason Campbell. Tony Gilbert, he's in coverage. Now he's got to chase the quarterback. Nice heads-up play by Jason Campbell.
Gain of 16, first down. Brown, the deep back, behind Brandon Johnson. Here's the toss. Misdirection play. Will Thompson heading over to try and help on the tackle, which is made by DeCorey Bryant, number 22.
Yeah, really nice play by DeCorey Bryant, stringing that play out. This is where Georgia defensively has been outstanding this year. And look at what they've done in the red zone. Only 12 touchdowns in 28 possessions against their defense. I mean, that is an outstanding TD percentage, not allowing. And they you know, I guess you use the old adage, they bend but they don't break. They give up yards, they give up some plays, but when they get in the 20, they have been really tough to score on, particularly touchdowns.
2nd down, 8. 7-3 as we play with 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Now movement. They got the guard Danny Lindsey, number 68. He was backing out of his stance a little bit early. What happened was Jason Campbell was trying to check to a new play. He was audibling at the line of scrimmage, and those linemen are down in their stance a long time. You see, those linemen are down. And here's Lindsey right here, and he's in his stance a long time. And Campbell's trying to check and just lift it up out of his stance.
David Greene and Jason Campbell. Gateway halftime report, couple of minutes away. Tim Brando, Spencer Tillman, scores and highlights from around the country. Second down. Manu starts in motion to the left side. Play fake. Good block. Campbell goes deep in the end zone. It's incomplete. Got rid of that one. Aromashadu was the intended receiver closest to the ball.
A little mix-up too, because it looked like Jason Campbell was expecting a post pattern, and Aromashadu was running to the outside.
And a 3rd and 13 at the 20. Dave Duvall, is the place kicker, and he has not had a great year.
No, he sure hasn't. And again, this is the part of the field and the type of defense where Georgia is most difficult to figure out. A lot of combination coverages.
3 down. Pollock coming from the left side. Here's Campbell. He'll run. Watch out. Gets a great block. And is out of bounds, 1st and goal.
You know who got the big block? Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie Brown.
Ronnie Brown with the key block. Now this formation confused Georgia a little bit. They took Ronnie Brown and they moved him out as a wide receiver, and that forced a little confusion in the Georgia defense. Tony Gilbert had to run out there. Now watch at the end of this run, Ronnie Brown gets the block on Tony Gilbert, and that springs Jason Campbell for the 1st down. They put him out as a wide receiver. He was covered by Gilbert, and then he turned and blocked Gilbert and enabled Campbell to get the 1st down. Heads up play by Ronnie Brown.
He's behind his quarterback on 1st and goal with 1:45 remaining. Campbell still has it. Now he does not. Instead, it's an Auburn touchdown to Brandon Johnson, the fullback.
Really nice play fake by Jason Campbell. Everybody's thinking Ronnie Brown, and here's the fullback right here, and watch him just slip out into the flat on the play. They play fake, good fake, and Brandon Johnson able to slip out inside the Georgia defense.
Did you see David Pollock go after Ronnie Brown?
You have to.
Bought the play completely.
Yep.
Extra point is up and good. 2-yard touchdown reception, 2nd of his career.
Nice job by Jason Campbell, shaking off the interceptions, keeping his poise, making plays as a runner more than a thrower, but he gets the touchdown pass to Brandon Johnson.
(14-3). Let's take another look at that TD pass.
Again, here's the fullback right here, and he's just going to slip out because everybody has to expect Ronnie Brown's going to get it on the run. You mentioned David Pollock selling out for the run, chasing Ronnie Brown, and because he chased that play, that enabled Jason Campbell to have a soft corner to get out there and make the nice, easy throw. If David Pollock stays home and plays the quarterback there, maybe he gets in the face and forces a bad throw.
45 yards after the punt return from Roderick Hood. A 36-yard punt return gave them great field position. Here's Duvall's kick along the ground into the end zone, and Fred Gibson will take a knee. It'll come out to the 20-yard line with 1:40 to go. Now let's take a look at the SEC moment presented by Sonic. Take you back to 1996. That was the day that Uga, I still laugh when I see that picture, I'm sorry, took a bite out of the Tigers in the 100th meeting between the two teams. Mike Bobo hit Corey Allen as time expired to send the game into overtime. 4 overtimes later, Torrin Kersey scores a 1-yard run. Georgia D held. Damian Craig on 4th and 3. 56-49 in the first ever overtime game in the SEC. On 1st down, here's David Greene. Goes deep, tipped, incomplete. Uga the 6th took over the reins in 1999. First half possessions.
I never like all those punts. You know, they got the 1 field goal, and they've had excellent field position for the most part in this first half, and only 3 points to show for it.
Musa Smith has had 1 run in excess of 10 yards today, but other than that effort has been held in check. Georgia still looking for its first 3rd down conversion.
And still looking to get Fred Gibson involved in the football game. 1 catch for 5 yards. He has been too quiet. For Georgia to have a chance, he has got to make some plays.
Corner blitz, Carlos Rogers. That forces Greene to tuck it and run. And Georgia is now 0 for 7 on third downs.
Yeah, you called it right. The corner blitz by Carlos Rogers called at the perfect time. Here he is right here. Watch him come. He has a clean shot to David Greene, and Greene knows it right away. He has nobody to block him. That play blown up from the very beginning, and another fourth down situation.
Auburn has used its final timeout. Fred Gibson, 1 of 5. Missed a couple of games with a thumb injury. Had a big game last week against Ole Miss with the absence of Terrence Edwards after the separated shoulder.
Yeah, had a big kickoff return. The first opening kickoff of the game, had 4 catches for 97 yards. He's still playing with his thumb wrapped up pretty good, but they've not been able to get him involved in the football game. And when you only have one big threat as a wide receiver, it's a lot easier for a defense to concentrate coverage and double him up.
There's the punt from Kilgo. That chases Hood over to the near side. It's out of bounds.
Roderick Hood has Georgia a little bit concerned, that time deliberately kicking away from him, and you give up some yardage when you fool with the sideline so much like that.
Auburn out of timeouts. They've got a first down at their own 34 with a 14-3 lead. Ara Machado and Anthony Mix head wide to the left side. And Ben Obamanu is split wide right. Play fake. Campbell. Tony Gilbert can't get there. The catch is made by Ara Machado, and a nice open field tackle drops him. Tim Jennings at the 45-yard line.
Tim Jennings had a big play last week, a 64-yard interception and return for a touchdown off of Eli Manning. The guy that almost didn't get a scholarship to Georgia, didn't get his scholarship until the last day of signing. They thought he was too small, but he has made a lot of big plays for this Georgia defense so far this season.
Well, Georgia needs to win to cinch a spot in the SEC championship game. Auburn needs to win out and have LSU lose at least once, and they will get to Atlanta. So there is much on the line as we head to halftime break. Right now, here's Jill Arrington with Mark Richt.
Oh, Coach Richt, you've recovered 3 turnovers, but only 3 points on the board. Why are you having so much trouble moving the ball?
Right now, they're just whipping us up front. And run game, passing game, it's about the same. So we've got to get our O-line to play. And when we do have opportunities, we've got to make the plays. Will
we see Fred Gibson more involved in the second half?
Well, we'll see. We haven't been able to hold the ball long enough to do anything yet.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you. Good luck.
This afternoon's game.
Thank you, Jill. Halftime in Auburn. And the Tigers lead the Bulldogs 14-3. Right now, let's go back to New York and Tim Brando.
All right, Vern, coming up on the Gateway Halftime Report, Spencer and I will have all of today's scores and highlights. And in a few spots, it wasn't a good day to be a goalpost. After this word from your local station.
Auburn leads 14-3 as we get set for the start of quarter number 3. Vern Lundquist, Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington. Bulldogs have come from behind once this season. They dominated the second half at Kentucky and won that one 52-24.
Well, this is the this is time to answer the bell if you're the Georgia Bulldogs. A bad first half, but 30 minutes left.
That one picked up on the scoop by Fred Gibson, and he manages to counterpunch it out to the 34-yard line. Just a moment ago, Jill Arrington talked with Auburn coach Tom Tuberville.
Control the game. How will you maintain the momentum in the second half?
Well, the big reason that we were able to win the first half was we were 5 for 7 on third down conversions. They were 0 for 7. And if we continue to play like that on third down, we're going to have a good second half. But I'm sure they got some tricks up their sleeve. We're going to have to stop number 82 this half.
All right.
They didn't get the ball to him.
All right, Coach. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
No, they did not. He had 1 catch for 5 yards. There's motion and contact. Now we'll see. Was Mark Brown drawn across the neutral zone?
I think Mark Brown made contact once he got across the neutral zone, and that's why the penalty is going to go against Auburn.
Mark Brown, leading tackler on this Tiger team. 1st and 5, Georgia. Terrence Edwards out for 3 to 6 weeks because of the separated shoulder. They have missed him, the all-time leading receiver in Georgia Bulldog history. Musa Smith. Nice spin move and a quick first down for Georgia to start the third quarter. But they trail 14-3, and among the other names we haven't called much is Musa Smith.
Yeah, and that play right there may have been the best play for Georgia right now. To get back in this game, the first thing they got to do is they got to answer the physical challenge that Auburn has given them in this game. Auburn was the more physical team in the first half. Musa Smith only 8 carries in that first half for 36 yards, but that one a very good play here and good field position for the Bulldogs.
First down and 10. Greene play fake, goes deep. Michael Johnson. He's got the ball out of bounds. Junior from Tulsa, a 14-yard gain.
See, now what David Greene has to realize and remember is if Auburn is going to pay that much attention to Fred Gibson and double him, then he's got to get the ball to other people. He's tried to hit Ben Watson a couple times. That was the third catch for Michael Johnson. But there's going to be some other guys open if people are going to double Fred Gibson.
The handoff Smith. They'll test the middle. Now the Georgia receivers, they are missing Gary as well as Terrence Edwards. Reggie Brown, Michael Johnson, Brian McClendon, and Mario Raley are the 4 we expect to see before the game is over.
Michael Johnson is a big receiver, not a guy that's going to run by you. And even though they may double Fred Gibson, that doesn't mean you stop trying to throw him the football. I mean, you still throw it up for him because he's 6'4", and even in double coverage can go up in traffic and make a catch for you in the right situation.
Second down, 7 from the 36. Comes the blitz. Greene. It's tipped or fluttered out. I'm not sure which.
Yeah, it was tipped, and he had Fred Gibson open. Looked like Dontarius Thomas was able to get a hand on the football, but they had Fred Gibson open on the curl route. And watch number 54, Dontarius Thomas, gets his hands up and knocks that ball away. And now this is the crunch time for Georgia. 0 for 7 in the first half. And their first big third down opportunity here in Auburn territory.
Gibson matched up with Carlos Rogers, bottom of the screen. He comes up to press him.
Now they're showing blitz. They're going to drop out on this one.
Here's Greene. He'll tuck it. He's got some room. Heads to the sideline, out of bounds with a first third down conversion for Georgia in the game.
And you'll take it any way you can get it. I mean, David Greene made a great decision right here. They're struggling on third down. They're 0 for 7. He thought it was going to be a blitz, and Auburn kind of dropped out. They fooled him on the coverage, and he has nowhere to go with the football. And then he does the smart thing. Get the first down and get out of bounds. A heads-up play by David Greene.
Ball at the 27. Tony Milton is the tailback now. And he gets the handoff. Not much yardage. Struggles across the 25. At the 25-yard line, a 14-3 margin of difference. Blitz coming. Greene, it's picked up. He goes across the middle and completes the ball near the yardage needed for first down at the 17. Catch made by Michael Johnson.
See, that's the advantage of having a big body as a wide receiver. 6'3", 215 pounds, running this slant route in the middle of coverage. First, he fights off the press coverage from Roderick Hood, and then he's able to maintain his concentration to make the catch. Hard for a small receiver to do that. Get off the bump coverage and make a tough catch like that.
3rd and 1.
That was a big-time catch, setting up 3rd and 1.
Musa Smith back as the deep back.
They're weak on the right side.
Here's Smith. Flags are down. This may be a dead ball foul.
Take a look here. They don't have enough guys over here, and Georgia, you know, not able to get the playoff in time. The penalty is on them, but Auburn was a little out of sorts there defensively.
Winds up as a procedure call, illegal procedure against Georgia. Mark off 5. Now they've got a 3rd and 6.
There's Gene Chizik, the defensive coordinator, came from Central Florida, was very successful there. His first year here at Auburn, and his team has played very well on 3rd down. And that penalty was huge because 3rd and 1 is a whole lot different than 3rd and 6, particularly when you've struggled all game.
3 down, now 4 for Auburn. And Greene from the spread. No blitz. Pulls up, goes deep, triple coverage, and Fred Gibson makes the catch.
See, even when there's people around him, still take your chances and throw the football for him because he's 6'4". He's a basketball player, so he knows how to jump up and get a ball in traffic. And even though he's well covered, he knows how to go get the football. This is a good decision by David Greene. You think he's not open, don't throw it. Give the guy a chance to make a play, and Fred Gibson made a play.
That is a gain of 18 yards. Mark Richt telling us earlier this week that Fred Gibson had his best game ever at Georgia last week in the win over Ole Miss. Here's J.T. Wall, plunges down to the 1 foot line.
Mark Richt is not an overly emotional guy, but he must have had some good things to say in the locker room at halftime because this is an outstanding response of a drive for the Georgia Bulldogs. They did not look like the 7th-ranked team in the country for 30 minutes in that first half. They looked like it on this drive.
And this is the 10th play of the drive. The ball just inside the 1. J.T. Wall, the blocking back, Musa Smith, the deep back, and time has been called by Auburn. When we come back, 2nd and goal from the 1. Impressive opening drive for the Georgia Bulldogs, finding themselves down by 11. Already 66 yards on this drive. And they have whatever you want to call the jumbo lineup in there right now. 2 fullbacks, quarterback sneak. Greene goes left. Touchdown.
A great drive by the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, it could not have come. Not only a great drive and you get the touchdown, but they did it by being physical. They came out and they established Musa Smith. The offensive line came out and knocked Auburn in the mouth a couple plays. They got the big catch and got Fred Gibson involved in the game. I mean, everything they needed to have happen in that opening drive they had.
Now Billy Bennett for the extra point out of Jonathan Kilgo's hold. Up and good. 10:46 to go in the 3rd quarter. Margin of difference in the game is now 4. Toomer drugs on Toomer's corner, and after Auburn victories, they come out and toilet paper Toomer's corner. Today's game brought to you in high-definition television, as are all of our SEC telecasts.
Yeah, the amazing thing about that Toomer's corner in the Auburn football facility in their Hall of Fame area, they have an actual replica of Toomer's corner. They have trees in there that has toilet paper on it. I mean, they even enshrined Toomer's corner. It's great.
Pretty good environment here.
Oh, this is a good place. This is a good place.
There's Brett Kerouac with the kick. Up and very, very short. Taken at the 28-yard line. And a good return now by Auburn all the way out to the 46. Roderick Hood, number 36, scooted up and grabbed it and gives Auburn terrific field position.
Boy, I'm not sure if they were trying to fool Auburn with that sky kick or not, but normally you do a sky kick thinking an up guy's going to catch it, but they still get Roderick Hood, their best return guy, with his hands on the football, and after one missed tackle, he brings it all the way out close to the 50. An excellent return by Roderick Hood, catching the short kickoff.
Ronnie Brown, Trey Smith in the backfield. This is Trey Smith in motion, heading to the left. Now coming back to the right, gets the handoff. Ronnie Brown, the lead blocker, and Trey Smith cut down after a 2-yard gain. David Pollock made the tackle. We go down to the sidelines. Jill Arrington with Terrence Edwards.
That's right. I'm here with one of Georgia's most consistent playmakers. You're out with a separated shoulder, but tell me, what did Coach say at halftime to spark that drive?
He didn't say that much. He's been not an emotional person. He just came in and made some adjustments, and you see it worked for us on that first drive.
All right, let's watch this play.
All right, Jill, 2nd down and 9, a 1-yard gain officially. Ronnie Brown, the deep back. Aaron Machado is the bottom of the screen. The handoff to Brown going left and spins out to the 49-yard line. Let's check in again with Jill.
Well, I'm sure you're frustrated to not be able to be out there helping out to make some of those 3rd downs. But how is your injury recovery coming? When can we expect you back?
I'm good. I'm ahead of schedule. It's a lot of things that I couldn't do at this time last week that I'm doing now. So I'm looking around December 7th to make my return.
All right. Well, thanks so much for talking to us. They're at the line. We'll watch this play.
All right, Jill, thank you. Terrence Edwards, all-time receiver in number of catches and yards in Georgia history.
Watch quarterback draw here with the empty backfield.
There's Campbell forced out to his right, but he's got room. And there's the sandwich, but he's very close and might have gotten the 1st down. And David Pollock is down.
Well, Pollock and Chris Clemens are the guy that sandwiched, and they got the worst of it, more so than Jason Campbell. This was not a designed run by the quarterback, but he does a nice job of knowing what he needed for the 1st down and reaching forward, not sliding, but diving forward for the 1st down. As you see Pollock and Chris Clemens converge.
And David Pollock, who has had a sensational season with 11 sacks. There's the stretch. He's short of a 1st down.
Pollock, you talk about Pollock. I mean, he has made big plays, but he leads the league in sacks. He leads it in quarterback pressures, tackles behind the line of scrimmage. So far today, only 2 tackles and 2 pressures. They've done a pretty good job of neutralizing him with misdirection. You know, they've kind of got him running one way and go out the other way.
Now, 4th and a foot. Auburn will go for it from the 44-yard line, holding a 4-point lead.
I think you go quarterback sneak here, maybe away from Jonathan Sullivan, but you got those big physical guards. Go right behind Danny Lindsay, your right guard.
There's the quarterback sneak. And it appears he got enough.
You know, this Danny Lindsay is interesting for me to watch at the line of scrimmage because he is a center also. And he has great anticipation of the snap count because of his history of being a center. He gets off the ball faster than anybody else on the offensive line. And that's exactly where Jason Campbell ran this quarterback sneak, right behind his right guard. But you watch just about every play, Danny Lindsay is about a fraction of a second off the ball before anybody else.
Marcel Willis, Aaron Machado on 1st down. Break off to the left. Johnson, the tight end, is tight right. 1st and 10 from the 44. Handoff, Brown heads right, shirt tail tackle, and it's made by Chris Clemens as Brown gets to the 41. And now time for I think the most anticipated portion of each week. It's the
Aflac
trivia question of the day. What is the most played rivalry in Division 1A football? We've talked about this one going back to 1892, and these 2 teams playing in their 106th. Well, that is a tie for the 7th most extensive rivalry. 2nd and 7 here, backs in the eye.
David Pollock back in the game for Georgia.
Sweep, Brown to the 40. It'll be 3rd down again.
Really nice play by Jonathan Sullivan on the inside there. A flag is down on the play, but Jonathan Sullivan with a quick play.
Penalty against Georgia.
He's playing really banged up. Here's Jonathan Sullivan right here, and watch him just get off the ball quickly. Beat the block of the tackle. That's the freshman Marcus McNeil, and make the nice play. One of his teammates unfortunately offsides on that play, but nonetheless a good play by Jonathan Sullivan.
2nd down and 2. I formation on 2nd down. Hand off to Brown, breaks a tackle inside the 30 and down at the 29-yard line.
See, here again is the dimension that he gives you, a little bit different than Carnell Williams. Where Carnell's a slasher, this guy's more of a banger. When he cuts it in there, he drops that shoulder, and if you don't bring a lot on the tackle, you're not going to bring him down. Look at the leg strength, powerful lower body, 223 pounds, and never stops moving those legs.
And a first down and 10 inside the 30. 7:09 to go in the third quarter of play. And off to Brown again. Couple of yards left side. Brandon Johnson leading the way. And Ronnie Brown from Cartersville, Georgia, said yesterday afternoon it's a town of about 20,000. Just the right size for him. There's a player down at the 27-yard line. 45, Brandon Johnson, the injured player. This stadium, of course, capacity is 86,063, and on game day it becomes the 5th largest attendance or environment in the state of Alabama.
Well, this could be a critical injury for Auburn if it's serious. Brandon Johnson, you can see he gets rolled up by 2 of his own guys. The center, Ben Nowland, and Ronnie Brown both fall into the back of the legs of Brandon Johnson, and he is a physical blocker. Already caught a touchdown pass, a good receiver at the fullback, but more important than that is his lead blocking for Ronnie Brown. I mean, this is an offense that goes with 2 backs a lot now and needs that fullback to be the lead blocker.
6'1", 234-pounder, a junior. And he remains down in between the 25 and 30-yard lines.
You know, it's really impressive to me what Auburn has been able to do running the football. They've averaged almost 6 yards per carry against Georgia today, and coming into the game, Georgia only allowing 115 yards a game rushing, and look what Auburn has already, 182.
Here's even worse news now for Auburn as they bring the chair out. Time has been called. The cause of the injury to the Auburn fullback. We'll return to Auburn, Alabama in just a moment. Just a moment ago, they took Brandon Johnson into the Auburn locker room.
Auburn has run 7 plays on this drive, and all 7 have been running plays, and now they have to play without their lead blocking fullback, Brandon Johnson.
Second down 8. Here's Campbell back. Comes right as his big tight end, Robert Johnson. Nice open field tackle is made at the 24-yard line. Well, the new offensive coordinator here at Auburn, Bobby Petrino, was the head offensive coordinator at Jacksonville for the last 3 years. Accepted a chance to get back in to college football. His dad, for 29 years, was the head coach of Carroll College in Helena, Montana. Bobby and his brother, both successful coaches. Third down and 2. And Campbell will go from the spread with Ronnie Brown to his left. Brown, Campbell got to the 5, touchdown Auburn.
How much respect does the Georgia defense have for Ronnie Brown? Everyone collapsed on him. Ronnie Brown is right here. Now they're going to fake it to him, and then Campbell's going to keep it and run it out this side. A lot of teams do this in college football now. Fake it to the back. Everybody goes with Campbell. Danny Lindsay with the key block that springs Jason Campbell. But the respect for Ronnie Brown opened it up for Campbell.
Damon Duvall with the extra point. As impressive as the Georgia opening drive in this half, the Auburn counterpunch was really something. Campbell with the touchdown. Let's take you from the 70s through the 80s in this Deep South oldest rivalry. Pat Sullivan won the Heisman in '71. Herschel Walker with an answer in 1982. Bo Jackson came back in 1985, put a trophy on his mantle. And the Auburn band playing Glory, Glory, Hallelujah as we went to the commercial break. Now Damon Duvall will kick off. Fred Gibson, Tim Jennings, the two deep men. Gibson has a kickoff return for a touchdown this season. That was back against Clemson in the first game of the year. And he takes this one at the 3. My, oh my. Rashard Gilliard, number 3.
Tommy Tuberville told us this is the guy to focus on kickoff return. He's the headhunter, and Gilliard with an excellent open field tackle on Fred Gibson. And go back to the touchdown. Watch the block by Danny Lindsay on Sullivan, and then the big tackle pulling and kicking out. The freshman, Marcus McNeil, number 73, with the big block. And Jason Campbell in the end zone. The tackle came over and trapped, and that's a true freshman at 6'9", 360 pounds.
And again, the kicking game so important. That was set up by a fine kickoff return. Greene at the 1. Reggie Torbor.
Reggie Torbor just blew right around the best offensive lineman on the Georgia football team, John Stinchcomb. I mean, he's coming to the line side. You see, they went play action, so that made it take some time. And Stinchcomb unable to block Reggie Torbor on that play action pass. And Auburn has the Georgia offense right where they want them. Second down and long on their own 2, and the crowd right behind them in the end zone.
Musa Smith breaks a tackle. He's got room down the right side, chased by Carlos Rogers, but a huge play.
What a play by Musa Smith. Now, one of the problems is Auburn went with a safety blitz. They brought a safety. Watch, this guy's going to come up and commit inside, and because he does that, it removes one of the other defenders. And when Musa Smith popped out of there, there was only one guy. That was Carlos Rogers, and he was too far inside. What a response by Musa Smith. He got that play pretty much on his own.
That's a gain of 32. He gets a rest. Tony Milton in the backfield. Play fake. Greene goes deep. He goes for Gibson. There's a tussle, and it's incomplete at the 21. Horace Willis was stride for stride with Gibson.
You know, the problem, I think, on that one was his bad thumb is his left thumb. And in this particular case, that was his outside hand. And this ball was thrown very well over the outside shoulder, but he has to catch it with his left hand. And watch as he reaches out there, he's just not able to get that left hand completely on the football. That was a good throw, just a tough catch for Fred Gibson.
Second down and 10. Blitz again. And nothing doing on this play.
T.J. Jackson, the only true freshman who is in the defensive rotation for Auburn. Take a look at T.J. Jackson. Here he is, just gets quickness off the ball and gets right inside the block of Josh Brock and gets that play in the backfield. But good quickness by the freshman.
3rd and 14. Greene deep, man open, Johnson at the 50. First down, Georgia.
Excellent protection up front. Michael Johnson is the receiver up top. Here he is. Now watch, he's just going to run a little corner route. And David Greene, because the protection is so solid, he's able to hang in there and make the nice throw to the sideline. Excellent protection up front against the 4-man rush. And David Greene delivers a huge completion.
First down at the 50. 21-10 Auburn. Here's Greene. Finds Johnson again, out of bounds at the 38.5-yard line. That's a gain of 11. And time now for the answer to the trivia question. The most played rivalry in Division 1A, Minnesota and Wisconsin. They'll tee it up for the 112th time on the 23rd for the Paul Bunyan Axe. Johnson, 6 receptions, 58 yards. And look who's here.
He's back.
Yes. Flag down, Greene. And this one is going to be a dead ball call.
And this will obviously go against Georgia again. And we've had a couple of these that, you know, they get a little momentum and then
dead ball foul. False start for the offense. Movement in the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still first down.
these kind of penalties are really hurtful, particularly when you've struggled on third down the way that Georgia has. You know, you put yourself in these tough situations now of first down and 15.
And David Greene looks over this Auburn defense.
He's rebounded. He was 4 of 11 in the first half, now 9 of 18.
Quarterback keeper Greene weaves his way to the 34-yard line.
It's a good call by Mark Richt, because this is not what Auburn would expect. Now, if DJ Shockley was in the game, yes, you'd expect this, but you don't expect David Greene to run the football in a designed quarterback draw, and that's exactly what it is. He's going to follow the block of Josh Brock in a huge hole, in part because Auburn in no way anticipating David Greene running that football.
Second down and 5. Greene with a play fake, goes deep over Roderick Hood. The catch is made, and it's going to be first and goal as Michael Johnson makes his 7th grab of the ball game.
And credit Musa Smith with the key block. This was a play action fake, but watch Musa Smith get up here and hit the safety on a blitz. They're bringing the blitz of Travaris Robinson, and Musa Smith stones him right there in the hole, and that enables David Greene to throw the pass downfield. Michael Johnson beats Roderick Hood, but this play never gets off if Musa Smith doesn't stick his nose in there and make a big-time block.
There's the handoff.
Movement again.
Yep.
Another false start. I mean, these things, you know, coaches say we shot ourselves in the foot. We shot ourselves in the foot, and that's what that is right there. When you hear a coach say that, this is what he's talking about. The right side of the line moved too soon. In a game like this, your margin of error is greatly reduced. You can't afford too many penalties like that. You've got momentum, you've got first and goal inside the 5, and now you're back to the 8-yard line.
5th penalty against Georgia. Johnson, wide right. They were all the way back at the 2-yard line after a sack of David Greene on 1st and 10. They were looking at a 2nd and 19. Now they've got a 1st and goal on this drive, and that's over Gibson's head.
Pretty good idea, because they got single coverage on Fred Gibson on Horace Willis. Horace Willis is a pretty big corner at 6 foot and 200 pounds, but still Fred Gibson at 6'4" is a pretty good matchup when he gets single.
2nd and goal. Gibson, the outside man, again against Willis. Well, saw Josh Brock.
I saw Josh Brock move.
Yep.
That right guard. Now, whether he moved because of the contact or the approaching contact by Auburn, here's Josh Brock right here. Now see if he moves first or if Auburn makes him move. I think. All right.
Yeah.
He held his water. He hung in there.
Half the distance to the goal. Still 2nd down.
Second and goal from the 4. Spencer Johnson is the man who came across. 23 and 23 play selection today. 2nd down and goal. That's Smith in motion wide to the right. Again, design quarterback keeper.
He fumbled the ball.
The fumble in the end zone. Touchdown recovered by Georgia.
I think John Stinchcomb may have come up with the ball. Or was it Kareem Marshall? We'll see. It was one of the big uglies, that's for sure. It was John Stinchcomb with the touchdown. Again, a design quarterback run caught Auburn by surprise. Empty backfield. It's a run all the way by David Greene, but he fumbles at the end of the play, and John Stinchcomb, standing there watching the ball, falls on it for the touchdown.
Now the senior academic All-American with a fortuitous recovery. Extra point is up and good.
Boy, we have seen 3 monster drives in a row. 2 by Georgia, 1 by Auburn. And John Stinchcomb probably never dreamed of scoring a touchdown in the ball game.
John Stinchcomb is a microbiology major. He's a minor in religion. He just had a prayer answered. We'll be right back. All right, Tim, thank you. 21-17 here.
Boy, Ohio State just doesn't know how to do anything except play close games on the road.
You know that 4th down play that they hit last week to win against Purdue? Now, I'm going to date myself here, but I immediately went back 32 years. Texas, Arkansas, Darrell Royal called a pass from James Street for Randy Peschel. It went for 43 yards and set up a go-ahead touchdown in the battle of 2 undefeateds. Am I a little older than you are?
Just a little, not much, just a little.
But I've got an energetically young attitude. Here's Hood. Again, roaming. And this time not quite as far with the kickoff return out to the 33-yard line. Well, what a drive. First down, 4-point game again. Here's Campbell across the middle behind Aromashadu.
I don't think Aromashadu thought the ball was coming to him. As you see Jason Campbell chatting with him, I mean, he didn't look like he expected that football at all. He was coming across. We've seen him catch that pass earlier in the ball game for a big 3rd down conversion in the first part of the game. But that time when he crossed the field, he didn't look like he expected the football.
2nd down and 10 from the 33. Here's Campbell with a handoff to Brown, going left, tries to bounce it outside and can't this time. It's going to bring up a big 3rd down. Ken Veal, number 96. And before this one is in the books, we'll be selecting the Army Player of the Game. John Stinchcomb. A couple of seniors, Tony Gilbert. Here's Jason Campbell, who's a sophomore.
And this may be one of the toughest situations that Jason Campbell has faced right now. 3rd and 11. The game on the line here with a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Got to be careful with the football.
Campbell back, blitz coming. He gets rid of it, and it's dropped.
Excellent call by Brian Van Gorder. They brought a blitz, but it wasn't like a sellout blitz. They were going to let that short completion be made and then knock him back short of the 1st down. A nice job of bringing pressure but not selling out for the blitz. See, they rush 3 and then they bring 1 linebacker, but they're playing zone behind it. So even if he catches this ball, he's going to get tackled short of the 1st down.
Now here is another spot where Georgia misses. Terrence Edwards and Damian Gary. Punt returns. Sean Jones is back, and Duvall nails it. It's out of bounds, negating the return, but a 49-yard punt.
You know, I watched him in practice on Thursday punt, and when he kicks the football, I mean, it looks like the ball explodes off of his foot. I mean, I've seen there's a lot of good punters in this league, but when he punts it, that ball really takes off his foot.
Well, in the history of Auburn football, look at the 2nd place rankings he has. Number 1 in field goals attempted.
When he goes in the NFL, he'll be a punter exclusively. I mean, that's his strongest suit, and the fact that he's had to work on everything has probably hurt his productivity during his career here.
48 seconds to go, third quarter. Georgia trails by 4. David Greene changing the play. Tipped. Carlos Dansby, the one-time wide receiver, number 11.
Carlos has been fairly quiet in this ball game. I mean, Georgia's done a nice job of finding him. Now he's on an outside linebacker position, kind of dropping into coverage. He's not rushing the quarterback and able to get his hands on the football.
2nd and 10. Blitz again. And they stop the running play with a loss of yardage back to the 16-yard line. Brett Edmonds, number 94, made this tackle. 3rd and 12. Greene chased. Out of bounds, they'll have to punt. Mark Brown was right behind him.
Nice defensive series for Auburn to close out the third quarter, forcing the punt on a 3-and-out.
This could be a pretty good scene for the next 30 minutes. That's the end of the third quarter with the score 21-17. We'll return right after this message and this word from your local station. We start the fourth. Jordan Hare Stadium, Auburn, Alabama, 86,063 here. Jonathan Kilgo to punt. And Trey Smith has replaced Roderick Hood as a return man.
And key thing right here now after this long timeout is protection. Good snap from Brian Jordan and secure protection for Kilgo as you see them bringing an extra blocker in.
Jonathan Kilgo had the first punt of his career blocked 4 years ago, none since. And here is the punt, and he will place it out of bounds. That was a fine punt by the senior Jonathan Kilgo. Well, we begin the final quarter 21-17. Everything on the line for Georgia if they win. First SEC opportunity in 20 years, and they're trailing by 4.
Yeah, they're trailing by 4, but they really played well in that third quarter. I mean, they dominated the game from a yardage standpoint, and they've done a good job of coming back under Mark Richt. As you take a look at what they've done, 3 times last year, 3 times this year. David Greene, their quarterback, has engineered 4 fourth-quarter comebacks in his career, including wins over Clemson and Alabama this season. So the game is right there for them.
Option play, great job of reading it. My goodness, was that strung out by the defensive end.
Yeah. Well, Boss Bailey made an excellent play, and then Jonathan Sullivan finished him up at the end of the play. But Boss Bailey just did a super job of containing Jason Campbell. Watch this play develop now. Boss Bailey is going to be responsible for the quarterback, and he just plays cat and mouse. He just kind of forces Campbell back in, and that's when Jonathan Sullivan is able to make the play. But he, in essence, defended 2 guys on that play.
2nd down and 12, the loss of 2. Here's Campbell going right, incomplete, almost intercepted.
Jason Campbell didn't look too good throwing that one. I mean, he looked a little tentative. Sometimes when you don't throw a ball with confidence, you try to guide one in there. I mean, he had his big tight end, and it looked like he tried to guide that one instead of just cut it loose and throw it. And now a 3rd and 12 against this Georgia defense. Again, this is the type of situation where Georgia really creates some problems with their coverages and pressures for a young quarterback.
From the 32-yard line, 3rd and 12. 4-man Georgia rush. Campbell in trouble. A helmetless defensive player, Ken Veal. Lost his helmet, but applied the pressure.
Man, what a rush by Ken Veal. 6'1", 311 pounds. That's what's listed in the program. Looks a little bigger than 311. But he just gets a great push off the ball and comes right by Danny Lindsay, the guard. Without his helmet, forces the throwaway by Jason Campbell. Man, what a play by Veal.
That's going to bring on Damon Duvall. Sean Jones back. We mentioned the absence of both Terrence Edwards and Damian Gary as punt returners. Mark Richt said he just hoped that Jones could hang on to the ball in this position. He's going to let this one go, and it will come to the sidelines at the 25-yard line. 43-yard punt. We've got 13 minutes and 49 seconds left, and the Bulldogs have the ball. Now let's bring you up to date on the final few years of the Deep South's oldest rivalry. First SEC overtime game. Showed you highlights of that. That was in 1996. Auburn won a game in overtime in the year 2000. And last year, time ran out at the 1-yard line. Uga was in despair at that point as Auburn won. Seems to be reasonably happy now, but would like to get out of that.
Had to get out of there and onto his ice. Got a refreshing way of laying on a bag of ice.
Here's Greene. Got his man. That one's caught by Gibson out of the 34-yard line. And time now for the Home Depot Scholar Athlete Award. It goes to number 54, Dontarius Thomas, Jr. with a 3.4 grade point average and a major in management information center. Home Depot's commitment revealed by the donation of $1,000 to the scholarship fund. And this is going to be short of the first down. J.T. Wall, number 49 with a carry, brings up a big third down. And Dontarius Thomas, when given the option, attended a mathematics camp instead of a football camp. I find certain things admirable in that.
Yeah.
3rd and 1. Season's on the line. Georgia has converted 3 of its last 4. This is a very long one.
I think Auburn had to call a timeout. They ran a player out onto the field to call timeout and gives Georgia a little time to think about this critical 3rd down play.
3rd and a long one.
Now let's go back to the timeout. Right here, Junior Greene is running off the field, and Auburn had to call timeout because they had 12 guys on the field. Now the problem for Auburn is that leaves them with only 1 timeout now, with 12 minutes and 42 seconds left in a very close football game. Georgia 0 for 5 on short 3rd down situation.
Musa Smith with the dive, didn't get it. 4th down.
I take you back to the 2nd down play. Auburn called a run blitz. They timed their blitz perfectly and stopped J.T. Wall behind the line of scrimmage. And that made this 3rd down play even longer. And a nice stand by Gene Chizik in the Auburn defense. There's Gene again. Coached here twice as the coordinator at Central Florida. His teams played well against Auburn. Never won, but close ball games, and doing a nice job in his first year here.
Jonathan Kilgo, and Roderick Hood is the punt returner on this 4th down punt.
Beauty.
Nice punt. That's a dandy.
Beauty.
It's going to be let go. And it just does. Limp into the end zone. A 66-yard punt for Jonathan Kilgo. 21-17. .45 to go in this one. Auburn leads it 21-17. And they've got a first down at the 20-yard line 17 times previously. Georgia has clinched the SEC title with a win over Auburn. And they are trying to win the East tonight. But Auburn leads it, as they have throughout. Here's the option again. Campbell. Nice job defensively.
What a play.
Tony Gilbert.
Man.
Now here's what's at stake for both of these teams. In the East, Georgia comes in with a conference record of 6-1. If they win tonight, they play in Atlanta. If they lose, Florida is in unless they lose to South Carolina. On the other division, Auburn remains alive with a victory tonight. They need to win out and have LSU lose 1, and Arkansas very much in play for the West Division championship as well. Here's Campbell back, comes left. Bruce Thornton makes the tackle. Just an interesting note. We were talking with Jason Campbell yesterday about his official visit when he was being recruited to Georgia. His host was Bruce Thornton.
Was able to snick one in on that time to Cooper Wallace. You know, before the game, when I was down the field, I was talking to Tommy Tuberville, and I noticed he had a different pair of shoes. They weren't coaching shoes. I'm looking at it and said, Coach, those are some interesting coaching shoes. These are my duck hunting boots. And I'm breaking them in for 2 weeks from now. I don't have time to break them in any other time. I thought this was a perfect day.
Left, knocked away. Bruce Thornton. That was intended for Marcel Willis, and Thornton got his right hand there.
You know, Bruce Thornton is a guy that has been playing corner. He started as a tailback, and he had a history of kind of being in the right place but not being able to make the plays. Last couple weeks, he's made plays. He had his first career interception last week. He had a touchdown-saving breakup last week as well, and that was a huge breakup on 3rd down.
Damon Duvall on to punt for the 5th time tonight. Sean Jones. And here's Duvall. This one low and out of bounds.
Well, I think Georgia could have blocked that.
I do too.
I mean, Burt Jones, number 29, who's already had one big play on special teams, he was in there fairly close to Damon Duvall. Watch Burt Jones come right here, number 29, and have a pretty good shot at this punt. But he peeled off at the last second.
A 34-yard punt out of bounds at the 41, and time has been called. One of the great venues in college football, Jordan-Hare Stadium, Auburn, Alabama, 86,063 watching a terrific ball game.
Yeah. Best field position in the second half now for the Georgia Bulldogs. They've moved the football very well in the second half, both running and throwing. Only 63 yards in the first half, 173 yards now in the second half with a little over 10 minutes to go in the ball game. So good position to start for David Greene and the Bulldog offense.
Backs in the eye, 2 receivers to the left side. Play action on 1st down. Greene hit from behind. Touch first by Brett Edens, and then Reggie Torbor completed the task.
And Junior Rose Greene came on a safety blitz to the backside of the quarterback. A left-handed quarterback, the backside is the blind side, and Junior Rose Greene came on the safety blitz, and Auburn with a big sack on 1st down.
That's a loss of 3, 2nd and 13. There's the change from Greene. Toss to Musa Smith. J.T. Wall in front. Smith, nifty run.
Nice cut by Musa Smith. I mean, this is a good audible check by David Greene, but an excellent cut and vision by Musa Smith. Auburn showed inside blitz, and that's why David Greene checked to the outside play. But watch the vision and the cut by Musa Smith. The block by J.T. Wall on Dontarius Thomas, and then the cut right inside that block by Musa Smith. They go from 2nd and long to a 3rd and a very workable 4 yards to go.
Officially, they'll call it 3.
This has been the tough area for them now. They're 0 for 6 on 3rd and 3 to 5.
Greene across the middle, caught by Johnson, then the fumble. Recovered by Auburn. Horace Willis, number 6.
Well, they get the conversion. We've seen Michael Johnson catch the ball in traffic, and he does that, but it's a good stick from Mark Brown. The middle linebacker is the guy who jarred the ball loose, and then Horace Willis comes up with the fumble. Good catch, but a heck of a tackle by Mark Brown, and Auburn with good field position now on the 42.
That is the first turnover for Georgia tonight.
And remember, they don't have their fullback, Brandon Johnson. They're playing with Michael Owens now at fullback.
David Pollock, Jonathan Sullivan combined for the tackle on 1st down.
As you take a look at a dejected Michael Johnson on the sideline, but again, the absence of Brandon Johnson changes Auburn's style a little bit.
Here's the attempted sweep, Ronnie Brown, and there is Tony Gilbert. the middle linebacker, number 42. Ronnie Brown opened the scoring today with a 53-yard touchdown run. He's also caught passes out of the backfield. All in all, an excellent day.
Yep.
This, the touchdown scamper from 53. Took a pop there, but it's 3rd and 11. He comes wide to the left side. Georgia with 3 down. They bring 5. Campbell across the middle to his tight end, but it is far short, and then a late flag comes from across the field. David Pollock is reacting as if it's going to be called against Auburn, and Brian Van Gorder with a thumbs down.
I think the thumbs down means decline the penalty and let them punt the football. Wants to know for sure what it is. Illegal procedure.
That may be the latest flag thrown on an illegal procedure call I've ever seen. Somebody got the hanky stuck in the rear pocket.
We have seen some good defensive stands.
We have an illegal formation against the offense. That penalty is declined. 4th down.
One thing you got to keep in mind with Tommy Tuberville,
I'm just thinking that
he is prone to go for a fake punt, and this may be the kind of situation he's looking for. Now, I don't see from a personnel standpoint the people in that he would want in for his fake punt, but don't put it past him. As many times as these teams are exchanging punts, that Tommy Tuberville might try to win the game with a big play on a fake.
So Duvall is back. And here is the punt. And again, it's not very effective. It's picked up on one hop by Sean Jones. And Jones down the sidelines and out of bounds at the 50.
That was a terrible punt by Damon Duvall. I mean, I don't understand what he was trying to do on this. It almost looked like he was hurt kicking that ball because, I mean, Georgia came after him. This wasn't even a return setup. They were trying to rush the punt from the right side. So they're not even really setting up a great return, and it was such a low kick that Sean Jones was able to pick it up on the fly and bring it back up the field. A poor kick by a very good punter, Damon Duvall.
And he's got punts today of 13, 33, and 34. And now Georgia first down at their own 49, 7:14 to go. Greene has to run. And just does hang on to the football.
Dante Booker with a heck of a tackle.
Now let's check the stat of the game, brought to you by Home Depot. Total yards. Georgia with 191 in this half, and they have held Auburn to 55, so complete reversal of roles for these two teams. Get complete college football stats at CBSSportsline.com or on America Online. Enter keyword CBS Sportsline. 2nd and 11. Greene finds his receiver Johnson, who hangs on to this one. It'll be 3rd down again as Michael Johnson is tackled at the 45-yard line.
Michael Johnson has kind of stepped up. I mean, he's really answered the challenge with a lot of double coverage on Fred Gibson. Michael Johnson has stepped up. He did have the one fumble, but look at that, 8 catches, 100 yards. He has been a reliable receiver for David Greene today.
3rd down conversions, 3 of 13, 0 of 7 in the first half. It's 3rd and 4.
Clock's going to run out on him. Had to call timeout.
Five minutes, 49 seconds left. 21-17, Auburn. Time now for the Fidelity Investment scoring recap. Auburn got on the scoreboard first. A 53-yard run by number 23, Ronnie Brown. Billy Bennett with the field goal made it 7-3. That from 43 yards out. Brandon Johnson caught a 2-yard touchdown pass from Jason Campbell, 14-3 at the half. Then David Greene, a 1-yard run, made it 14-10. The answer from Jason Campbell. He scored from 21 out. A fumble recovery in the end zone by John Stitchcomb made it 21-17, and that's where we sit. 21-17, 5:49 to go. 3rd and 4.
A lot of chess games going on that timeout, too. Georgia switching personnel twice. Auburn trying to see what personnel they'd have in.
Backs in the eye, blitz threatened. Greene backs away and changes the play. 5 seconds to go on the play clock. Comes the blitz, good blitz pickup. Tipped and incomplete. A flag is down at the shoulder of David Greene.
See, David Greene read it right. He saw the blitz coming, and he audibled to a blitz play. But there was holding on the play. Here's the blitz by Travaris Robinson, and that's who got help. There's a takedown right there. That's Ian Knight, the center, who is going to grab a hold of the blitzing safety, Travaris Robinson, and just bring him down. And right in front of the umpire, John Rodriguez.
The offense, 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay 3rd down.
I'm not so sure.
Why would they take the penalty?
Give Georgia one more chance with the football.
I guess you're thinking 3rd and 14 is better than 4th and 4.
But Georgia's not going to go for it on 4th and 4 with 5:44 left, I don't think. I think they still would have punted the football. Here they get another shot with a guy like Fred Gibson, who can go up and catch the ball in a crowd.
And he's going to work on Horace Willis, wide left. Greene launches it deep. It's picked up, intercepted by Travaris Robinson, and it was right in his hands.
This was a little bit of a force by David Greene. I mean, he's trying to get it all back on this one play, and nobody was really open. I mean, he's going to try to hit Michael Johnson over here, but it's not open. I mean, there's a lot of blue jerseys back there defending this route. And Travaris Robinson is just watching the quarterback the whole way. Michael Johnson not there. Mark Brown with a good lick on the quarterback. And Auburn in business.
5:36 to go. 2nd turnover of this half. There's the handoff. Brown.
Could Illinois be the new fly in the ointment?
I think they possibly are. Fighting Illini have become flies. 2nd down and 8. Here's a play fake from Campbell. Nice job of getting by the defender, and then he's tackled at the 38-yard line. It's going to be 3rd down, 4:45 remaining. Well, Auburn, in 7 wins, they've averaged 241 yards on the ground per game. Almost 100 less than that in the 3 losses. And today they have rushed for 199, but most of that in the first half.
And it's very different right now without their fullback, Brandon Johnson. Michael Owens is not the same kind of fullback as Brandon Johnson, so you're seeing Auburn doing different things running the football than they did in that first half.
3rd and 5. And again, Campbell keeps it and heads back to the right side and is tackled.
That's our guy, David
Pollock.
He's been quiet, but he made a huge play there. And Jason Campbell on the last 2 runs has looked kind of tentative, like he doesn't want to make a mistake. And David Pollock, who has gotten beat on the misdirection a couple times today, gets away from the block of Robert Johnson and gets enough of the shoe of Jason Campbell to bring him down. A huge stop by David Pollock.
That is not a sack. It was a running play. So Pollock still with 11 for the season. The clock with 3:30 to go. And Duvall to punt. And again, this one returnable. Sean Jones at the 35. Comes right, gets a heck of a block. Boy, was it ever. And Jones to the 43-yard line.
Ben Watson, the starting tight end, with a monster block on Mark Brown, the starting middle linebacker. That was quite a block. Another low kick from Damon Duval. Watch this thing set up. A low kick. And right there's the block. Ben Watson. Wow. Knockout block.
Well, here's the season for Georgia. 3:16 to go. The ball at the 43.
Give the ball to Musa.
Nope, they're going to throw it. And it's complete on the near side in front of Carlos Rogers. First down and 10. Here's Musa Smith coming to the near side. He gets out of bounds. That stops the clock with 2:52 to go. Auburn has only one timeout left. Georgia has 2.
Take you back to one thing now, similar to last year in the game that came down to the final play when Georgia needed a touchdown. They need a touchdown again now.
This was a year ago. Cadillac Williams, and then what turned out to be the final play of the game, Jasper Sanks. They called a running play. They did not have timeouts remaining. We're back to play here. Here's Greene. Up in the air, incomplete.
Wow.
Off the hands of Michael Johnson.
The point I was going to make, as Dontarius Thomas not able to come down with that interception, is last year they had to go for a touchdown because they had 2 field goals blocked by Alton Moore. Today, they've got to go for a touchdown again, trailing by 4 because of a missed field goal by Billy Bennett, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game.
3rd and 8. Gibson and Johnson head left. Greene fires it too high. Way high.
Yeah.
And Gibson was open.
Gibson was open, and again, he's got the bad thumb. And you got to give him a little bit better ball to catch on this. It's an out route from the far hash, so it's a long throw for any quarterback. But David Greene has to get that one down around the numbers for Fred Gibson. And now a must-go situation on 4th and 9.
Mario Raley is in the lineup. He's in the slot.
Michael Johnson has been the go-to guy. He's at the bottom, number 25.
They've got to have 8. There's the inside to Johnson. Looks for room, can't find it. The ball goes over on downs.
If I'm not mistaken, they went for a play similar to this against Florida when they needed a play and didn't convert. They go to a wide receiver screen. It's a blitz by Auburn. And really, Mark Brown, number 52, diving at Michael Johnson, was the guy that disrupted that play. Watch Mark Brown, number 52. He doesn't get the tackle, but his stop, or actually it's Reggie Torbor, that makes Johnson change his direction and come back inside where there's other blue jerseys. And Tommy Tuberville knows his defense gave him a heck of a play.
On 1st down, the handoff to Brown coming to the left. And Georgia will try and knock him out of bounds, which they've done.
And he's got to stay in bounds. I mean, that's not what he wants to do.
Well, 8 different times. Auburn has spoiled Georgia's championship hopes. 88, 87, 83, 79.
Georgia has 2 timeouts left, and they didn't have to use one there because Ronnie Brown gave him a break by running out of bounds.
Second and 7. And off Brown. Nope. Yes, it is Brown into the hands of Ken Veal. And now Georgia will use 1 of its timeouts. 1 timeout left. 2 minutes and 21 seconds remain. Mark Richt Jets on the sideline with David Greene, hopeful that they get the ball back for one last opportunity. It's third down here, 2 minutes and 21 seconds left.
I think what we'll probably see Auburn do here is put the ball in Jason Campbell's hands and give him a run-pass option.
3rd and 5.
Some kind of a bootleg, maybe even an option in this situation for Jason Campbell.
Straight drop back. Now he rushes and is down at the 37, and Georgia will use its final timeout. So they'll get the ball back with about 2 minutes to go in the game. 2:11 remaining right now. Two minutes, 11 seconds remaining. 21-17. Damon Duvall comes on to punt for the 8th time. He's had 1 of 56, but he's had 3 that have been very ineffective.
His last 3 have not been very good, and he needs a good one here.
Sean Jones at the 30-yard line. And another poor punt. It'll be taken by Jones at the 25. Looks for blocking help. Has it. And is out to the 41-yard line.
Another low kick from Damon Duvall. That one even bounced away from Sean Jones, but because it was so low, he still had time to field it and get it upfield for a good return. And I want to go back to the first down play when Auburn had the football, and Ronnie Brown, as good as he's been this day and all season, running out of bounds and stopping the clock and not making Georgia use a timeout. They ran 3 plays and only took 22 seconds off the clock. Georgia, even though they don't have any timeouts, this is a lot of time to move the football. 1:58.
59 yards away. And Greene on first down. Comes to the near side. Michael Johnson makes the grab, stops the clock at the 45.
Johnson out of bounds at the 45.
2nd down and 6. And I'll think back to a year ago when David Greene engineered a big come-from-behind touchdown drive. Randy McMichael, who's now getting paid for play.
That's right.
Baron Haynes made the touchdown catch. They won that one by 2.
And it was the poise of David Greene as much as anything in a hostile environment that got him that win.
There's a 2nd and 6. Greene steps up, goes deep, left side, has a man open, and then it's caught and out of bounds inside the 20. Fred Gibson.
They got him single coverage with Horace Willis. Good protection because Auburn came with pressure, leaving Horace Willis one-on-one on the outside with Fred Gibson. And this time, David Greene puts it in a spot where he can catch it in his body and not have to go up and catch it only with his hands. David Greene got popped by Mark Brown on the linebacker blitz, but not before the big throw.
On first down, play fake. Greene comes to the near side, a bump, and no flag. It's ruled incidental contact in the end zone. Carlos Rogers against Fred Gibson. 2nd and 10 at the 19. I'm sure that Ronnie Brown is feeling a little shaky in the end zone. 21-17.
Thing to remember now for Georgia, they can get a first down, which will stop the clock without scoring a touchdown. They can get a first down by getting it to the 4-yard line.
Here's Greene back. Comes the blitz. Flag is down. And this will be against Georgia.
Yeah, another illegal procedure. Movement early in the offensive line. That's at least the 3rd, if not the 4th time that penalty's been called on Georgia.
Ball foul. False start against the offense. Movement in the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Part of it may be the crowd and the inability to hear the snap count, but watch the left tackle just step back a little bit early. That's George Foster, number 71. If you can't hear the quarterback, you got to look in at the football.
George Foster had that costly penalty in the loss to Florida. It's 2nd down and 15.
1:41. The game clock should read 1:41.
David Greene in the second half, 13 of 21 for 184.
Key thing for David Greene right now is thinking on this second down. Don't think he has to get all 15 yards in the back here. Try to get half of it. Try to hit something for 7, 8, 9 yards, and then play third down.
Musa Smith comes in motion. Greene across the middle, and it's knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
DeMarco McNeil was being blocked by Josh Brock, but he was able to keep his hand free and knock that ball down. On a short throw, you want your lineman maybe to cut that defensive lineman, but DeMarco McNeil able to keep his outside arm free and get the deflection.
3rd and 15. Greene in the end zone, man open, tipped. Roderick Hood tipped it. Watson was there.
What a play by Roderick Hood. He kind of fell back on it. He was the underneath coverage, and Rose Greene was covering over the top. See, Roderick Hood is more concentrating on the wide receiver, but he reads the quarterback's eyes and falls back in position to make the knockaway. Good job of Roderick Hood reading the eyes of David Greene.
4th and 15. Johnson left.
Again, they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Gibson wide right. Blitz. Greene in the end zone. Up for grabs. It's caught.
Oh, my goodness.
Touchdown, Georgia.
Oh, my goodness.
Michael Johnson. The Georgia Bulldogs have taken the lead. Oh, my goodness.
That's all I can say. Michael Johnson, on a career day, makes the biggest catch of his career on Horace Willis. It was Horace Willis that was victimized by Fred Gibson to get him down into the red zone, and now on 4th down, Michael Johnson beats him for the touchdown.
Billy Bennett with the extra point is up, and he knocks it home. Michael Johnson has caught 13 for 141, none bigger in his life.
Well, here's Fred Gibson right here. Michael Johnson is over here. The coverage is going to focus over here. That leaves single coverage. Michael Johnson working on Horace Willis. No safety help D. One-on-one, and Michael Johnson ran right by him to the back of the end zone and then used that big body to go up and catch the football. Michael Johnson. You see Horace Willis kind of paused there, looking back at the quarterback, and then Michael Johnson jumped over him for the football. Boy, oh boy. David Greene. See, he looked at Gibson first, saw double, came back to the single side, and Michael Johnson makes the huge catch. Boy, oh boy.
It's worth another 1,000 looks.
Oh, man. How about the poise of David Greene? I mean, he has never lost a game on an opponent's home field. I'd say he likes playing in hostile environments.
Made a recruiting visit here in 1999. While he was here for the spring game, he didn't have a chance to talk to a coach. Said he didn't feel ignored because he never really wanted to come here. He grew up in Snellville, Georgia. The family with an Auburn orientation. His dad, his grandfather, both attended school at Auburn. His sister, Leslie, graduated from here last spring. He's a Bulldog. There's Mom and Dad.
What a game.
I believe that's the second time this season we've seen his mom in tears.
And how about Michael Johnson stepping up in the absence of Terrence Edwards, their leading receiver, in the absence of Damian Gary. Michael Johnson has stepped up for David Greene today.
Here's the kick. Auburn with one timeout left. And here's the kickoff by Roderick Hood, the return out to the 28-yard line.
All right, let's set the situation now for Auburn. You mentioned they have one timeout. There's still a decent amount of time, 1:18, and they only need a field goal to force overtime. They don't have to score a touchdown. Now, that's the good news. The bad news is Damon Duval, for whatever reason, doesn't look like he is 100% there, you know, kicking the football, punting it or kicking it. But all they need is a field goal, and they have 1:18 left.
Auburn loads up the right side. Georgia will bring 4, drop 7. Here's Campbell up, looks deep, goes across the middle, caught. Robert Johnson, first down, Auburn at the 47-yard line.
When you run a 2-minute offense or a 2-minute drive, the most important play is the first play. I mean, it kind of sets the tempo for everything. A good first play for Jason Campbell, hitting his favorite target, the tight end Robert Johnson.
Clock stops while the chain is reset. Saves Auburn their one timeout. Flag, and this will cost Auburn 5.
Boy, that possession in the end zone is a tricky call for officials.
Here's on 1st and 15. That one is incomplete.
Georgia came with the blitz after Jason Campbell on that time. They haven't blitzed him a whole lot. They sold out on that one and came after him and forced the low throw. This is a tough situation for Jason Campbell. This is more what Daniel Cobb was accustomed to, thrown out of the shotgun, the 3 and 4 receiver stuff. Jason Campbell a little more comfortable in the 2-back play action stuff. So a little bit out of character right now for Jason Campbell, but he has to get it done.
2nd down and 15. And again the blitz. Here comes the rush. They've got Campbell. That's a fumble.
There's a penalty down, a dead ball foul.
No.
A dead ball penalty. They blew this one dead.
Flag is thrown at the 45-yard line, far side of the field.
I think the right side of the Auburn offensive line anticipated that blitz as well.
Dead ball foul. False start against the offense. Movement in the offensive line prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
They brought the blitz to the right side, and the right side of the offensive line was a little jumpy. Now, Jason Campbell, the thing he's got to think now, he can't take a sack. The worst possible thing he can do right now is to take a sack. If he has to throw it away, throw it away. Better yet, if he can scramble upfield and make some positive yards, run the football.
48 seconds. 48.
Clock has been reset. 2nd down and 20.
But with no timeouts, a sack would be devastating here because you've got receivers running all the way down the field. They'd have to come back and get set up, and you can't stop the clock.
Auburn with 1 left. Here's Campbell back. There's the sack. There's a fumble. A scramble for the football. Who got it? Auburn got it. And now the Tigers.
Well, that's 2 plays in a row. They've gotten to Campbell and knocked the ball out of his hands. The last one was blown dead. 3 plays in a row. Georgia says we're going to blitz. I mean, we don't think this guy's comfortable being in the shotgun. In this scenario, we're going to go after him. And they bring in Boss Bailey and those other linebackers after him.
37 seconds to go. Georgia trying to win the SEC championship. For the first time since '82, that is a division championship now. What happened then? Well, USA Today became a reality. Ozzy Osbourne bit the head off of a live bat. You remember that?
Yeah. 20 years later, he's getting paid millions of dollars to be on TV.
Cats opened on Broadway. Chariots of Fire was the best picture.
Great movie.
You know, we had our own Chariots of Fire moment in this one.
Boy, oh boy.
Overcoming odds. Right now, it's 3rd and 27. Auburn out of timeouts. David Pollock said he leads by effort.
What a resilient effort by the Georgia Bulldogs. I mean, 4-down territory here, and Jason Campbell, what he has to think now, he doesn't need it all in one play. If he can get half of it here, he's still got another down.
steps up and scrambles. He will step out of bounds at the 43-yard line, stopping the clock with 30 seconds to go. And that will bring up 4th down.
Now you need it all in one play. Now it's 4th down. Now you need to get it all. 4th and 20. Not many plays in your playbook, even for a good coordinator like Bobby Petrino, that you can call on 4th and 20.
Here's the play. They blitz him again. Thomas Davis comes. Campbell steps up, lets it go. It's caught. Trey Smith does not have the first down. The Georgia Bulldogs are going to make a short trip to Atlanta.
And credit Brian Van Gorder for his strategy in this last drive. Every play that Jason Campbell was in the shotgun, they went after him. They didn't play any kind of prevent defense whatsoever. They went after Jason Campbell, and they pressured him on every play. Thomas Davis coming from the top on the safety blitz. It's not a full blitz, but they're bringing enough people to get pressure on the quarterback, and in this case, force the underneath throw.
Final 19 seconds of the ball game. And here's David Greene, the redshirt sophomore, kneeling. David Pollock said to us earlier this week, he's a sophomore, we owe this to the seniors. Seniors like Boss Bailey. Seniors like Tony Gilbert. Seniors like John Stinchcomb. It's not that far from Athens to Atlanta, but it's taken 20 long years to make the journey. Here's Jill Arrington with Mark Richt. Jill?
Coach Richt, how does it feel to lead this team to the first ever SEC East title?
Well, I'm very thankful right now. And I do want to give praise to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ at this moment. It's awesome.
Coach, talk to me about the resiliency of this team in that 4th and 15 play.
Well, the guys don't quit. And it's been the MO of this team ever since we got here. And I'm just so proud of them. I love them all, and this is one of the greatest moments for me as a coach, I can tell you that.
And Coach, talk to me about David Greene's poise throughout the game and getting it done today.
He did. He hung in there. We kept battling and battling. We thought we could get a touchdown, and it had to come down to a 1-minute drill to win the game. And I want to thank Homer Smith, too, for a little help in the offseason.
All right, Coach, well, you coached them well. Congratulations. Enjoy this win.
Thank you.
Now Mark Richt and the Georgia Bulldogs. Last time this team won the SEC championship, the head coach was the current athletic director, Vince Dooley, who graduated from Auburn. Well, it is time now. I can't wait for this. It's time for the 5-star play of the game presented by Wrangler and described by Larry Munson.
Man, we've had some shots, haven't we? Snap to David Greene. There he goes in the corner again, and we jump up. Touchdown! Oh, God, a touchdown in the corner. With 85 seconds, somebody went up high. Was it Watson or Gibson? Michael Johnson up high. We're trying to put glasses on it, and they stagger down into the screen.
Oh, 80-year-old Larry Munson, he's just the best. And Jill Arrington is down on the field. Jill?
David, you look excited. Tell me, how'd you keep the boys together to lead this team to this victory?
I don't know. I tell you what, I mean, I just threw that last ball up and Michael Johnson went out and made a play. And I wasn't nervous when I was on the field. When I started watching on the sidelines then, I was nervous then. But it's unbelievable. I mean, it says so much about how we believe in each other after we played such a bad first half. And unbelievable feeling right now.
All right, well, and congratulations. Enjoy it.
Thank you.
All right, Jill, thank you. David Greene with a certain degree of equanimity. He's very, very calm, isn't he? Just the way he looked at the end of the game. Our U.S. Army player of the game, can there be any doubt? Michael Johnson, 13 receptions, 141 yards. His catch spells the end of doom and the beginning of play in the Dome. For Todd Blackledge, Jill Arrington, I'm Vern Lundquist. We'll see you next week from Tuscaloosa.